Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. There's not much I can tell you about these two, apart from they are probably the two greatest players the world has ever seen. And that we, as fans, have been really lucky to see two players of this quality at the same time. Players that have played for some of the world's biggest clubs and for their countries at a high level. Players that have won multiple Champions Leagues and multiple Ballon d'Ors. But away from football, they're still human beings, and Ronaldo and Messi have both got families, and they've both got sons. Now when it comes to their two sons, they're not exactly growing up in the same world that their fathers did. They've grown up having a superstar dad with glamorous mothers, living in mansions and driving around in some of the best cars and helicopters that money can buy. Now once Ronaldo and Messi's playing days were over, both of them wanted to stay in football. Both had enough money to do nothing for the rest of their lives, but they both loved the game. Lionel Messi went back to his home nation of Argentina to become the head of youth at Boca Juniors, while Cristiano Ronaldo stayed at the team he retired at, Juventus, to become a coach. But it wasn't long before managerial jobs came calling for these two superstars. Could they transition from becoming great players into becoming great managers? And first up, it was Lionel Messi. After a year as the head of youth at Boca Juniors, the manager left and the board wanted him to take over, and he accepted, becoming the manager, head coach of Boca Juniors. Over in Europe, Cristiano Ronaldo was offered a job he couldn't refuse with his boyhood team, Sporting Lisbon. It was going to be a great place for him to start his managerial career. And after a few years, the Premier League came calling. London and Tottenham Hotspur were his new home. After many successful years in Argentina with Boca Juniors, it was time for Messi to go to his second home, Spain. But it wouldn't be with Barcelona, and it definitely wouldn't be with Real Madrid. It was going to be Atletico Madrid. Could he be successful in Spain as a manager like he was as a player? Well, he thought so, and he also thought his son could follow in his footsteps. Young Chiro Messi Jr. was signed by his father to Atletico Madrid's youth team. Born on the 10th of March 2018, this young 15-year-old who could play as an AMC, attacking right winger and backup striker, was going to have big shoes to fill. But his father believed in him, but did the rest of the world. After a short but successful time at Spurs, another one of Cristiano's favourite teams came calling, possibly his favourite, Manchester United, and he snapped that job up quick. Not only that, he too had a son that wanted to be a footballer, Matteo Ronaldo Jr. Born on the 8th of June 2017, this young 15-year-old who could play straight down the left and even as a striker was signed by his dad to the Manchester United youth team. And just like Messi Jr., Ronaldo Jr. was going to have big shoes to fill and have the whole of the world watching every move he made. But could he live up to it? Could both of these young players live up to it? We don't know. Anything can happen in football. We weren't just going to be following their careers, we were going to be following their fathers' careers. Could they become successful managers? Could all four of these guys be successful? Well, we were going to find out in the story of Ronaldo versus Messi. Generations. Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to the channel. Thank you for checking out one of my videos. If you're new, hopefully by the end of it, you'll be a subscriber and you'll go and check out all my other videos. If you're already a subscriber, as always, thanks for watching another video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you all smash the like button, help support the channel. Also, if you want to support the channel that little bit more, you'll find a link to my Patreon down below in the description. That would be massively appreciated. Right, Ronaldo versus Messi, generations. This is me just having a bit of fun and also having a look at what could happen really. I want to know. When I see great players on the game, they very rarely transition to becoming great staff. So I've made sure that Ronaldo and Messi have got potential to be good managers. Don't always work out that way. If you see my very first story experiment, the Liverpudlian triplets, the manager there had potential to be great. didn't work out for him. So you never know really what's going to happen. But also, I've given 2 of their real sons. I mean, they don't look like their real sons, just younger versions of them. But the date of births are right. There's 2 of the sons that are roughly the same age, and we're going to see, giving them potential, can they carve out a career in the world spotlight? Because that's what it'd be like that, wouldn't it? Everyone would always be asking, are you going to be as good as your dad? The difference is I've not given them amazing determination or ambition, because they've grown up in a life of privilege. They're not poor kids who've come from nothing and have got this burning desire to be a superstar. They've grown up driving around in Ferraris, living in amazing houses, going to world film premieres. So it'd be different, wouldn't it? They wouldn't have that same passion, I don't think. But they've still got the genetics of their dads, of their fathers. So they've still got the potential to be good. So we're going to find out what happens and follow all their careers as best we can. So yeah, thank you for checking out this video. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. So let's get stuck into it. Let's start here with the original Messi. Now, it's starting in 2033 because this is the year that both the guys, Ronaldo and Messi's sons, the ones I've chosen, would be hitting around 15, 16 years old. So they could come into the game in real life if they become players. So yeah, this is Lionel Messi. And he retired in 2025 and became Boca Juniors head of youth. He only did that for a year, and then he became the manager. Now, I wanted him to be a manager and / head of youth. So, you know, it was interesting to see that he didn't go straight into management. But I'm guessing Boca sat their manager. He came in and he was there for 5 years, right? We'll have a look what he did in a minute. But he was there for 5 years, which is pretty cool. And then in 2031, so 2 years ago, he became Madrid manager. And then this summer, he's just signed his son. So as Boca manager, I mean, he did really well. Look, he won loads of stuff. He's really successful, to be fair. I honestly thought he might stay there because he's there for 5 years, to be fair. So it's interesting, but it's interesting to see he's come back to Spain, but to Atletico Madrid, where he's now been for a couple of years. He's just won the Copa del Rey, runner-up in the league, and finished 3rd last year in the league. So he's not doing too bad at Madrid. You know what I mean? That's pretty good when you think he's competing against his old team Barcelona and Real Madrid. But he's just signed his son this summer. Let's have a look at him. Let's look at Messi Jr. Here he is. He's basically Messi in a wig with a fake smile. That's not Messi's smile. And he's alright. I mean, I've made him to be like an AMC. Could become a similar player to his dad maybe. He could play up front eventually. Could play out wide on the right. You'll notice he's got low determination. He's not got great ambition either. And he's just basically... He's got potential. He's got -10 potential. So he could become great. He could become average. But he's got his dad's genetics. So he's got it in him to be good. Check out his information. You can see straight away there Messi's his dad. He's a Barcelona fan. He would be, when he growing up in Barcelona. Watching his dad play. Listening to the stories. So his nationality is he's Argentinian. But he can also play for Spain if he wanted. Because he lived there most of his life. He was born in Spain. Here we are with Ronaldo, and it is basically Ronaldo in a wig. That's not even his real beard. Just in case if you are wondering, it is him. Someone, I put an advert out on YouTube. Someone said he looked like George Harrison, which is pretty true, to be fair. The old Beatle music band, if you must have heard of them. But yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now he retired in 2023, so he retired 2 years earlier than Messi on the game, and he's got the same potential, all that stuff. So it'd be good to see what happens. He's all right now as it is, to be fair. He went into coaching, so he became a coach at Juventus for a year. So he was a coach at Juve, and then he moved to Sporting. I think he might have had a year off. I think he left Juventus in 2024, and then in 2025 he became Sporting manager. So he looked like he might have had a year gap. He was at Sporting for 6 years, I think, 5 to 6 years as their manager. Then he went to Spurs for 2 seasons, and now he's just moved to United, and he's just signed his son. So at Sporting, he was pretty successful. Won quite a few things. You can see that for yourself there. Not bad. I don't know if he won the league, to be fair. It looked like he kept coming runners up. But he did win a few things. Oh yeah, he did win the league in the early days of his managerial there. He won it the first few years and then kind of tailed off. Then he moved to Spurs, where he was for 2 years. Won the Europa League with Spurs, which is interesting. That's maybe why United came calling. Came runner-up in the Premier League. Won the FA Cup. Bloody hell, he's done well for Spurs, hasn't he? And now he's obviously just signed to Man United, which is great because he obviously likes Man United. But will he stay there? Will he ever get to Real Madrid? Will Messi ever get to Barcelona? That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Here's young Ronaldo Jr. in a wig with fake teeth. Look how smart, cheesy that smile is. Oh, it's brilliant. It's an app you can get on your phone. It's great. Right, now he is a bit different than Messi. Maybe a little bit different than his dad-ish. Now he's mainly an attacking left winger, but he could become a striker if you improve his finishing. He could also become a left back if you wanted. Completing, actually, the BOODFM team-ish. I've never had a left back, so he could do that, I suppose. But he's alright-ish. Again, his determination's alright. It's a bit better. It's ended up being a bit better for some weird reason. Sometimes, I will say this, you might have found it yourself, when you create stuff in the editor, it doesn't always turn out the way you want it. Sometimes things can change. But his determination's a bit better. His ambition ain't great. He's just a young winger, so he's nothing too special yet. He's 15 as well. And again, he's got the potential. He's got -10. So he's got the potential to be great, but it doesn't necessarily mean he will be. He's going to be able to compete with Messi Jr. No idea. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump forward and we're going to see where they get up to. Also, if you're wondering why the lads have signed with the dads, I just thought it'd be a great place for him to start, and I've just signed him to the teams that the dad were at. So it just happened to be Ronaldo's at United, so he signed his son there, and Messi's at Atletico Madrid, so he signed his son there. But as we know with these things, these stories interweave. Anything can happen. But we've jumped 10 years into the future. It's now 2043. Thought that'd be a great place to go. 10 years, nice number. And we're going to start with Messi like we did before. And he's definitely improved. I reckon he's probably maxing it out now. Look at his ability there, really good. And he's at Manchester City. Now, when we left him, he was at Atletico Madrid. Now, you can't see where he's been at, but I can't even see Atletico Madrid on that list. He has had some jobs in the space of 10 years. What's been going on to have that many jobs? I mean, wow. So let's find out. Well, he was at Atletico Madrid for 4 years. Won the Champions League, won the league, won the Copa del Rey. So he did the treble in his last year there, which is pretty bloody special, Messi. I think a bigger team came calling, or a team with more resources. I won't say bigger. And that was Paris Saint-Germain. Again, looked like he had a very successful time there. Missed Spain, went back to Spain, only spent a year there, which I'm guessing means he left. Okay, he didn't get the sack. And then he went to Germany, to Bayern Munich, where he was there for 3 years. He's won the Bundesliga. Not bad. Not bad. And then he went to Linfield. Now, if this is the first video you're ever watching, Linfield is part of this whole Boodiverse. These stories are all linked together. So Linfield are still part of this. So obviously they're still doing well. And he became their manager for a season. Right, so they must have won the Champions League and lost their manager because he's gone and won the World Club Cup. He was only there for a year and he got sacked. That was his first sacking. Wow. The first chink in his armour. And then he had to take a bit of a step back, no offence to Hamburg, because they're not the biggest team in the world. And he was only there for not long. Wowzers, did he get sacked again? Left Hamburg. Goes to Newcastle. He's only there. He's not there long either. Leaves Newcastle after winning the FA Cup. And now finds himself at City. And he's just bought his son. So here is young Messi Jr. And he's not bad. His determination's gone up, hasn't it? I didn't know that could do that, but it has. What is he now? 25. He's playing for Spain, so he's chosen Spain over Argentina. He's played for Linfield in between Atletico Madrid. Did his dad sign him? That'd be interesting to see if he keeps signing. Because they father son, would you? Or is it just chance, or is he signing because of his son? Right, no, his dad became Linfield manager in 41. So his dad was his manager at Linfield, but he was only there for 6 months, remember? And Linfield sacked him. His son signed the year before that. So at Atletico, he was there with his dad for ages, but I think he's obviously stayed on after his dad left. And he's won loads of things. I mean, bloody hell. Look at that. I mean, everything. He's won everything. That's amazing. Check out his Linfield career, which is pretty good. 4 years in the Premier League. Wow. Every final Every final he went to with Linfield, he won Champions League, Premier League, Carabao Cup, an FA Cup. Wow, world champion. Yeah, you see why he's become a good player, and now his dad's brought him to City, where he's just signed. Now, I am pleased about this, and you're probably thinking, wow, he's still at United. No, he's not. He's not. He's just come back to United. His second stint at United. Now, he's a good manager, but he's had a couple of jobs there. This is random. But again, like Messi, he's become a good manager. I give him that potential. It's just good to see him do that, because I've done a couple of management ones now, and I did the twin brothers. I've done the brother and the sister managers, and they all became pretty good, to be fair. It's just that first manager I ever didn't work out too well. And if you look at the dates there, that's quite interesting. Now, he did alright. I won't say he won too much. Let's see his overall, what happened. Right, so he didn't get the sack. He left to go to Juventus, the team he last played for, the team he was a coach for. He then became their manager. Didn't do much with them though, and wasn't there long. I'm guessing after the big fanfare of bringing Ronaldo in, he's got sacked. Now Messi has been doing brilliant. Messi's been winning trophies where he's been going. Apart from Linfield, he's been doing really well. But then he went to Linfield, right? And he didn't get the sack either. Let's see what he did. He started winning things. So Linfield was his big step up, really. He won up a few times, but he's won a good few trophies there. Won the Premier League and so on, which is pretty cool. But he was there in 36 to 41. You might remember Messi Jr. signed for Linfield in 2040, which means Ronaldo signed Messi Jr. I love these stories, mate. How good's that? Ronaldo signed Messi Jr. It's brilliant. Then he's gone to Dortmund. So when he was at Dortmund, was Messi at Bayern? He'd just left Bayern. He'd gone to Linfield, got sacked, came back to Germany. So at this point, and he wasn't there long either, so they might have met each other. So after a pretty successful time, really, at Dortmund, he's just won back-to-back, I think, DFB Pokals, and just came runners up in the league. Man United came calling. Man United wanted him back. And his son is still here, waiting for his daddy to come home. So Ronaldo Jr. has not left United. He's stayed here at Manchester United. And he's become a pretty good player, to be fair. He's now an elite winger. So he's not become a fullback or anything. He's definitely stayed as an AML, which is pretty good. And he's become pretty good. His determination has gone up as well. See, I always thought determination was locked in. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just wrong. I should know that. And he's won quite a lot, but I think he's won all this without his dad as his manager, hasn't he? A lot of this is the managers in between. But it's nice. He's a career guy. Is he loyal? Is he going to stay there his entire career? As you can see as well, they've never won a Ballon d'Or like the dads, so that's nothing to worry about just yet. But you can see there, Ronaldo came third. So that's not bad. Third best player in the world. Any other boys? Anyone? The lads have turned out to be great players. They're not as great as the dads, though. Maybe that's that. I mean, having that -10. Messi, when he was a kid on the game, used to have a -10 potential. So is it the starting off with a low determination? Is it ambition? Do you know what I mean? What that's stopping them reaching the max? Because they're at great teams. I mean, if you look at Ronaldo Jr., he's at Man United, been there years, and he's become a good player. But he's not gonna be as good as his dad now, is he? I don't think. But still, he's a good player. He's also, I forgot to mention this, decided to play for England. So Ronaldo Jr., who could have played for Portugal or Spain, I think, has decided to play for England. Now we jump forward 11 years, you'll see why in a minute, but here's Lionel Messi. He's now 66 years old, and he's the manager of PSG, and he's been all over the show. This guy has had a million jobs, man. We left him at City. He'd signed his son, which was pretty cool, and he did alright. He won the Premier League and so on, and then he got sacked. And then he went to Barcelona. The dream move, right? Everyone, it's Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? He won the league, which is great. And he was there for 4 years. Did he get the sack? No, he left. How did he leave and then hire someone as a scout? How's that? And he left Barcelona, right? His team, he left them for Linfield. The team that sacked him and then sacked him again. What? So look, he didn't even stay there again for a whole season. So again, right, he's come in after a Champions League winning season. He's won the Super Cup, he's won the club. He did this last time, and then he's got sacked. But he stayed in the Premier League and gone to Arsenal. Typical Arsenal, losing Europa Leagues. Look at overall, he left Arsenal after a season. Goes back to Atletico Madrid, where it sort of began. Left them after a season. This is what I mean, how random it is. And now he's at Paris Saint-Germain. So, right, if we look at his career here, he's been Atletico Madrid manager twice. He's been Linfield manager twice. And he's now been Paris Saint-Germain. I'll get my words out. Paris Saint-Germain manager twice. Well, here's his son, who's still playing, 36 years old, and he's still pretty good. His physicals have dropped off. He's still classed as an elite attacking midfielder. 190 caps for Spain, 67 goals. And he's at Bayern Munich. So obviously he was at Madrid for years. There we go, look, you can see that for yourself. 4 years at Linfield, 5 years pretty much at City. And now he's been there for 5 years, going to 6 year at Bayern. So he's had a really, really, really good career. Looking at what he's won, he's not done bad. He won the Olympic Games while he was at City. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Won loads of trophies. Gone to Bayern Munich again. Won the Bundesliga a million times. So he's had a fantastic career. Here we are with Cristiano Ronaldo. Now Cristiano's no longer a manager. I never put him as a director of football, but that's happened. So things like that can change. So this has shown me that the mentals of a manager or a staff member can change. So he's got to 69 years old because he became director of football at Everton in 2049. So he's been that for 5 years now. Yeah, he got sacked. Yeah, bye-bye. And ended up going to Milan, which he didn't get the sack at. Let's see what he won. Nothing. And became Everton manager. And he was Everton manager for 2 years. Did he get the sack there? No, he left to go back to Tottenham. He got sacked as manager of Tottenham. Honestly. Now, he won the Super Cup, so Spurs must have done well. Didn't do well enough for Spurs. His first stint at Spurs was pretty good, wasn't it? He got runners-up in the league, didn't he? Won a cup or something. So again, similar to Messi, he's been at United twice and Tottenham twice. And then when Spurs sacked him, he became the director of football at Everton. So he's gone back to his old team. Well, we find his son, who's now 37, still playing at a high level for Inter Milan. Pretty cool. I like that. He's like ending his career maybe in Italy, just like his dad. And, you know, he's a good player. He's a veteran winger. He's played for England 180 times, scored 56 goals. Not bad. He's had a bad career, has he? Now, I like this. So obviously when we saw him last, he was at United. I thought he was going to stay there his entire career. But no. He followed in his dad's footsteps. He left United in 2047 for Real Madrid, where he stayed for 5 years and did pretty well. Won the league. How cool is that? He's gone to Real Madrid now. I did make it Madrid one of the teams he liked because of his dad. So maybe that's helped with that. And then in 52, so 2 years ago, he went to Inter. And he's done alright. He's won the league there as well. I like that. Well, here we are with Cristiano Ronaldo's senior biography. If you want to pause it and have a look, feel free to see what he did in his entire career. Because this is going to be his entire career, isn't it? Playing and managing. And there's a lot. The guy's achieved a lot. Over to his old rival, Messi. This is his biography again, just like Ronaldo's. He's had a long career, both as a player and as a manager. I'm just buzzing that they both turned out okay. Because you always worry that when you give potential ability, it's not going to work out. But I think it's worked out pretty good, especially for a video. And he's had a great career. I just think it's random though. Here we are with Ronaldo Jr. And he has just become a free agent. He's going to be retiring after his 2 years, successful years really, at Inter. And yeah, I think he's had a great career. Now, I've not actually gone through it all and tallied it up. I thought I'd leave that for you. If you're interested in who won the most, feel free to pause it, have a read. I think they both had good careers. They both had the potential to be great. I think they both became great. Over to Messi Jr. And just like Ronaldo Jr., he's just been released and he's going to be retiring. So he's had a great career. And, you know, probably won a bit more. I'd say the Messis have edged it. Probably, yeah. I'd like to know if you agree with me or not. but I'd say that Messi's probably won the most. Now here we are with the history of the World Cup, and the lads have never won it. Now England did win 2 back-to-backs, and Spain won it, but the lads weren't about yet. They didn't come to life till 2033, and obviously, well, England have just lost the World Cup. But that's not the most interesting thing on this page. Look at the year 2038. Scotland won a World Cup. So there we are. That is the end of Ronaldo versus Messi generations. We've had a look at the old Ronaldo and Messi's managerial careers, and we had a look at their sons' careers, and I think it all worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It turned out good enough to make into a video, because I will say this: I've had a few ideas in that book, and I've spent times building a few databases, and things don't always work out. I've had things that I've put work into that you'll never see because it's not worth it. It just doesn't work out. You'll holiday it and it's rubbish. And it's like, yeah, it don't work out that. The video would be like 5 minutes long. So it don't always work. So I'm really chuffed this one kind of did. And the guys had great careers. They still battled it out as managers and even swapped jobs. I mean, they were both at Linfield, weren't they, as well? That was pretty cool. Both signed sons. I mean, Ronaldo signed Messi. Messi signed his own son twice, I think. So that was pretty cool. And the lads themselves had good careers, which is again a lot of them doing a lot of this. It's teaching me a lot about mentals now, things to look out for and so on. So determination, because if a player's got low determination, they can still become a good player, really, couldn't they? So yeah, that's good. Really impressed. Hopefully you are enough to smash the like button. And again, if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Come join the family. Go and check out all my other videos. I really would appreciate it. And again, if you want to help the channel out that little bit more, you'll find a link to my Patreon down below in the description. All these story sort of experiments are put into their own playlist now, so if you've not seen the rest of them, you should be able to find them easy enough. But yeah, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this. I really do appreciate it. Honestly, it means a lot to me, so thank you. You've been amazing. I've been Bood. I'll see you next time.